What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my latest Call of Duty Ghosts gameplay commentary, and I'm talking to you all today about the Vector. I'm kind of doing a bit of a gun sort of rundown, a little detail analysis of this gun, and I might be doing this for other guns in the future, and just kind of gameplay mechanics in general, maps, whatever comes to mind. Might even be doing commentaries that are talking about random topics over gameplay. So yeah, this commentary is about the Vector. For me, it is my favourite SMG, and I'm going to run down why that is. I'm going to give you a class to use for it, which is at the start of this video, but I will be putting up a picture of it later in the video, so don't worry about that. So chill, fam. And yeah, we'll, I guess, get right into it. So I'd like to start off by saying that I think most of the guns in this game, like the vast majority of them, it's down to preference. Use a gun that you are comfortable using and that feels good when you use it, because most of the guns do a lot of damage, and I know people who use other SMGs and they say they're amazing. I know people who use the Bison, I know people who use the MTAR, I know in the professional Call of Duty community a lot of people are using the MTAR, and then there's that CBJ. I tried that out, I'm not really a big fan. And then there's that silenced one, and in general there's quite a kind of breadth over the choice of guns that you can use in this, because they all do so much damage, and it's just whatever feels better in your hands. For me, it's the Vector. I know some people are using this with rapid fire on it, but I just use it with, well, I mean, let's get on to it. What attachments do I use on the Vector? Actually, let me firstly cover why I think it feels good. So, as you can see, I have an iron sight on this. I'm not using a red dot, I'm not using any other sort of scope, and I feel the red dot's good. It reminds me of the the UMP45 from Modern Warfare 2. It's kind of similar to that, and that was my favourite SMG in Modern Warfare 2, and probably one of my favourite guns throughout the whole Call of Duty series. And I like that. It's just easy to fire. It's kind of like got an open iron sight. It's easy to see things in, and it just feels good to use it. And watch that beast little triple there, destruction. And yeah, so other than that, the fire rate is quite nice. It's not too fast, so the recoil is all over the place, and it's not too slow that it's not dealing enough damage up close. But when things like that happen, you kind of wonder what's going on. But other than that, other than those freak occurrences, sorry, the gun's going to treat you pretty well, and you're not going to be let down by like the basic gun's attributes. The clip size is decent as well. It's 32 clips, and that guy gets wallbanged like a bitch. And yeah, I guess that's about it. The sight is nice, the fire rate is good, and yeah, it's just a decent gun in general, you know. I just feel it's good off the bat, and the clip size is decent. So, but let's get on to the attachments that I run on it, and I would recommend you guys doing so as well. It's pretty much the standard combo on any gun in this game, other than if you're using an AR and you want to put a red dot on it. But some people, even the competitive players, are not using ARs with red dot. They're using these attachments, and those attachments are grip and muzzle brake, aka long barrel. Those two together are a lethal combination on any gun. So if you don't know, the muzzle brake kind of increases damage over distance, and also I think it increases accuracy slightly. At least it increases accuracy over distance. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or not, but it definitely does the job. And so try that out. And then secondly, grip. If you watch Driftor's video, where he's like a Call of Duty guy who kind of does all the stats and number crunching, if guns, attachments, what they do, blah, blah, blah. They're very interesting, go check it out. And he's actually, well, basically, Modern Warfare 2, grip didn't do anything on certain guns. Grip didn't really do anything in Black Ops 2, etc., etc. But in this game, apparently, grip actually does something, which is awesome. And so it increases accuracy by apparently, I think the number he gave, like accuracy or spread or something, but just general kind of gun ability or whatever, just accuracy, like, you know what I mean. It increased it by roughly 20 to 25%, and that's a really considerable number. Muddling my words. You know, that's something that you should factor in. And so if you put those two together, you get, if you put those two, and by those two I mean grip and long barrel, you're going to have a really good time. You know, your gun's going to be more accurate. It's going to be, I think, doing a bit more damage. At least it's going to be feeling like it's doing more damage, because over distance you're going to be getting more. You're going to be getting kills easier. So try that out. However, without being biased, I will again go back to what I was saying before and go back on what I said. Those are the things I use myself, but I know that other people are running, for instance, rapid fire in the professional competitive community. Lots of people are putting rapid fire on the Vector, rapid fire on a number of the SMGs, because apparently it increases the, well, I mean, of course it increases the fire rate, but it does so without increasing recoil, at least without increasing it to a point where it is unusable. And so you kind of like lose, you face, what's the expression I'm looking for? You're not going to lose out on anything. You're only going to benefit from putting those things on your gun. You can be doing more damage because you're going to have more bullets coming out of your gun, etc. And so those are the things that I would recommend. You might want to put a red dot on it if you don't like using iron sights, but like I said, the iron sight is quite good. But if you want that kind of like little bit of extra pinpoint accuracy, put a red dot on it. But the SMG is not really made for those long range engagements, and I would say a red dot is a bit of a waste. Other than that, I don't think there's many other perks that are kind of useful. Attachments that are useful for this gun. It's a very good gun out of the gate without any attachments on it, and putting those other two attachments that I suggested are only going to make it more beast. It's only going to melt more faces, and you know, guns already melt in this game completely, so why not increase the melt to a level that, you know, your sandwich shop would be proud of up the road. You know, the cafe down the road, they're going to be proud of your melting ability. Yeah. Moving on, let's talk about specialist with regards to this class. So, of course, you can run support or assault, but that's kind of boring. Let's talk about the specialist perk. So, if you may have noticed already, as I've been saying this, a picture has come up on the screen showing you this class. So, looking at this myself, I'm going to run you through what I've got in my perks. So, the first is aim down sights faster after sprinting. That is just obviously useful because you're an SMG and you're going to be running around a lot, and that's going to increase your gun skill dramatically. Compound that with marathon, because you're going to be running a lot, because you need to get those close quarters engagement. You know, marathon is pretty much a must. Then we have amplify. So amplify in this game can only be described in one word: overpowered. Amplify allows you to hear people's footsteps much louder, and even cancels out if people are using dead silence. So you can basically tell where everyone is around you on the enemy team whenever they get anywhere near you, anywhere near threatening you, and so you can do some ridiculous turn-ons and you can just generally destroy people. Then I kind of have a throwaway perk, because lots of the one perk slots are kind of useless, and I didn't want to use any of the 2-slot ones, because I wanted to have them as specialist things. You can switch these around, but I have resilience, which means that when you fall, you don't do, I think it's called resilience, when you fall you don't take any damage. Kind of useful, close quarter engagements, again chasing after people, blah blah blah. Then you have focus. This is just kind of like a competitive perk, but I would recommend it to anyone, even playing pubs. It means that when you get shot, you get less flinch, your aim doesn't move as much, which means you can win gunfights like a bit easier if people shoot you first. Although you probably will die in this game, focus will help like out with that. And also if you have like fair gunfights, it will help out dramatically. The next perk I have, again, is a throwaway, but it's called Gambler, which means you spawn with a random extra perk. I think this is really useful because, again, the one perk kind of perks are a bit of a throwaway. They don't really add that much, and Gambler will allow you to spawn with any perk in the game that you haven't already got equipped, and it will even allow you to use ones that you haven't unlocked yet. So you kind of don't stand to lose anything by using that perk, and you only stand to gain. Final perk is Hardline. For Specialist, I think using Hardline makes your life a lot easier, and especially when you look at my first Specialist perk, which is Scavenger. And so using Hardline, that means Scavenger I'm going to get within 2 kills, and that's pretty much guaranteed. So yeah, there's my first Specialist perk. It's Scavenger, and you need that to replenish your ammo. You don't want to start picking up other people's weapons. Then I have ICU, and that's recharge your health faster. So if you get into an intense gun battle and you need to back off for a second, you're going to get your health back, you're going to have a better chance of winning. The third Specialist perk is agility, I think it's called, means that you run faster. Again, this just kind of adds to the awesome abilities of Marathon using an SMG, etc. And then when we hit 11 kills, we have number 1, reload faster, sleight of hand, reload on the go. Then we have being able to kill enemies without them having a death sort of symbol come up. I can't remember what it's called. Then we have the one that allows you to be hidden from air support, and then dead silence. These together, I think, are the best perks to kind of give you that ability on the ground to be like the most strong physical soldier that you can be on the battlefield. You can swap some of these out, or swap the first ones out for the things like being able to be hidden from UAVs, or using other people's UAVs and the other team's UAVs to your favour. But, you know, I don't really like to rely on UAVs. I like to try and use my game sense more, but they will undoubtedly help your playstyle too. So, you know, it's not set in stone. Use what you feel comfortable with, kind of the same as guns, but I'd say the kind of default perks that I've got on that aren't the specialist perks are pretty much as good as they get. It's just my playstyle. You can use anything you want, but flipping IEDs, man, look at that. Just run into it and it destroys you. So I would say check like my perk selections out, try them for yourself, tell me what you think, because I think they work quite well. And you know, if you're using specialist, you should be trying to put on perks that are going to make you the strongest soldier possible, as opposed to, you know, just wasting perk slots. And the great thing about specialist and the class system in this game is it allows you to put on so many perks and really use that to your advantage. So try out the Vector, try out my perk setup, try out my attachments, experiment. Don't take my word as God, because it definitely isn't, but I think it could help you out. Anyway, the commentary is coming to a close in about a minute 30 seconds, so yeah, that's about it. That's my Ghost video for the day. My release schedule is pretty much 1 video a day, mixing in other content as well, and I've got some big stuff coming up possibly, so keep an eye on my channel because you might be in for a pretty awesome surprise. I don't really want to say much else other than that because nothing's set in stone yet, but just keep an eye on me, and thank you so much for the huge influx of support that I'm getting, and subscribers and views. Like, thank you. Like, I can't say that enough. Like, I take my YouTube very seriously. As much fun as it is, I want it to be, you know, super successful, and that can only happen with the support of you guys. And yeah, just thank you. That's all I wanted to say. So please like, please comment, please subscribe. Sharing always helps. That's about it. Check in for the next video soon. Peace.
Securing B. Scavenger. Mission failed. This won't happen again.